We are here on site at actually a good friend, 5-6 Brewing, enjoying some of their delicacies. Kind enough to let us use their space because, well, Dangerous Man's back. We just, being a little outside the cities, it was a little bit tougher for us to coordinate, especially me selfishly, kind of being on the clock with a kid coming soon. God bless you, Laura, for letting me be here.
Cheers to Laura.
But, yeah, to Laura.
Yes,
everybody.
cheers.
Now, I gotta say, I saw the post on Facebook and just the nature of the internet and social media today. I did like a quadruple take, just like,
wait, is it April 1st?
Is someone messing with me? Like,
all right.
What is going on here? Like, that was never a possibility in my brain, but the Phoenix, it says it all.
Yeah.
Dangerous Man, down, not for long.
No.
And we couldn't be happier. I told Jeremy, I've told pretty much anyone that's ever decided to listen to our show, but Rob, my gateway beer was the peanut butter porter.
That's amazing.
I was the classic college kid.
Yep.
Give me the cheapest thing that doesn't taste like ass.
Totally.
And I, like, craft beer, I had no idea what it was.
That's amazing.
Meant nothing to me. And like, the first one I had, and like, this isn't a shot at all, but like, Surly Furious isn't a typical IPA.
No.
That was the first IPA I ever had, and I'm like,
It's a little aggressive.
Nope.
I was gonna say, that is not an entry craft beer. That is like,
come and get
So
you.
I was like, yeah, this craft beer thing, I'm not about it. But then I got dragged into Dangerous Man to meet a couple people, and I go up there and I'm looking at the board. I'm like, what's the closest thing you got to him at Gold? And they're like, but you're at the wrong place. So then I'm like, all right, like I'm looking around like, peanut butter? What? They're like, you
That's
seem
awesome,
to like it.
man. No,
I got it, took a sip. I'm like, yep, this is different.
Yep.
Okay, here we are.
Yep.
And that was it. And I mean, now, there's so many great breweries in Minnesota. Like we're very spoiled, and it's like very underappreciated nationally. But like,
For sure.
there's just so many great breweries, and you guys, I appreciate you for being my gateway into that.
That's amazing.
So thank you.
Cheers for that. I love to hear that.
literally one of the reasons why I moved from the west coast of Canada to Minnesota was because of that beer.
That's amazing.
When we started doing the podcast, it was very much, we've grown to more of like a network now, and you know, I basically get to reap the benefits of it. I just play producer role now and then get to come out to these events and talk to some great guests like you guys. But we used to send each other beers back and forth because I would talk about the West Coast beers in Canada and he'd talk about the Minnesota beer scene, and then we'd just talk about hockey in general.
Right.
But we'd send each other beers back and forth, and even well-traveled, that peanut butter porter was the first one.
I think it was like 2 weeks, man.
Yeah, it was well-traveled, man. And
Sat in the post office.
Canadian customs, man.
well-traveled, non-chilled. I cracked it on stream, and I think there's still like a screenshot of me with the big crowd. Crowlers
amazing.
don't exist in Canada, so I was like, what the hell is this?
Australian beer.
Blown away, absolutely blown away. And then when I ended up visiting the cities and came to the tap room that was downtown, just getting it fresh was just unbelievable as well.
amazing.
So like, it's just so crazy that like, honestly, like a really important part of like our friendship and partnership for this podcast is that beer. And I still have that can in my office. And whenever I do like streams or like podcasts from like my place or my like home office, like that can is always front and center because it's just meaningful.
That
So,
really means a lot for me, man.
Yeah.
And to hear that story, like we had so many customers come in and say, I don't like craft beer. Like, what should I drink? And you know, most of the time you're like, oh, I'll give you our lightest beer. But we realized it was like, no, give people the peanut butter porter. Let them know, like, this is a craft beer. This is something that you've never had. This is going to blow your mind. And then they drink it, and it's like, wait, what? I didn't know beer could taste like this. Wait a minute. And then they're hooked. And like
awesome.
so many times, and you don't think of like a dark porter beer to be a gateway beer into craft beer, you know?
Especially one that's not super sweet, because
Totally.
usually it's like the
No, it's not.
like
That's
the
what I love
festival
about it.
ones,
Yeah.
right? Like the Christmas time when they have like
Totally.
the candy cane or like the chocolate peanut butter porter that are really heavy
Yep.
with the chocolate. What I loved
for
about your
sure.
guys was like it was what you wanted from a porter,
Yep.
and it just had the hint of peanut butter, and it was perfect.
Still
and,
a beer at the base.
Yeah,
you know?
exactly.
And that's what I tell everyone too. Like, on any given day, like that's the safest beer for me to grab and drink.
Yeah.
There's other ones that I'll have, like
sure.
especially like you guys were notorious for like crazy concoctions,
Oh, yeah.
barrel-aged stouts. Like
Milkshakes.
I loved all of those.
Milkshakes, yeah.
But like I'm gonna have one of those, and then I'm going back and I'm having 3 peanut butter porters, right?
Totally.
Like,
Yep.
so it just subtle,
That warms my
roasty,
heart. I love to hear
smooth. It's yes, such a special place in my heart.
That's
but
so
I mean,
cool.
talk about it though, because you said a lot of
Yeah.
people came in. You were a gateway for more people than just me, and
Right.
I think a lot of the lore with Dangerous Man goes beyond the beer. It's the community that you guys had built there in Minneapolis, and I mean, the workers you had too. Like it was family.
I mean, yeah, our staff was incredible and still is, and they are family. They are still like some of my best friends are my staff that we hired, and just the culture that we created in the community was, beyond anything I ever imagined or dreamt, was possible. It was like, that's not something, when you open a brewery, it's like, I'm gonna make beer, and that's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna put the best beer out to the people. You don't think about like, you're gonna change people's lives and you're gonna create this community and culture that is like so special and so amazing, and like watching people grow their careers and go on to start their own breweries. We had multiple people.
Yeah, well, you mentioned knowing Josh Leddy is a good friend of the show and a friend of ours, and like you guys literally inspired him and Melissa to
like when they reached out and
to plant the seeds for what is Back Channel now.
Yeah, I mean, that's just, I got goosebumps, it just makes me feel so awesome, it's like such an honor to hear that.
So then you should easily imagine how excited the fans are to have you guys back in our lives, right?
Totally, and that's so awesome to hear that support and feel that love and support again is like, it's so awesome, and I'm really excited for Jeremy to like feel that and see kind of what we created, and I get to pass it off, and like it just feels awesome.
But it's not passing off. I think that's a big part, right, Jeremy, with making the decision to make the jump here, right?
Yeah, absolutely. I told Rob when we met one another, I was just looking at some equipment. I was stopping in, I was collecting equipment to build a brand called Rafters. It is clearly out of my garage and doesn't have much more than a following than the 25 people that have been supporting me throughout all of this, right? And ultimately, we talked, and I got a sense from Rob that, hey, you don't want to be out of the industry. That's a feeling that I got. Well, after I was kind of enamored by the fact that I met Rob, the Dangerous Man, right? Like I walk in with my wife and I'm like, that's Rob. It's him.
I know that beard.
I know that guy.
That guy looks like the label.
I mean, those tuning in on YouTube and actually getting the video here, you probably wouldn't recognize him. It doesn't connect at all where the label and the branding come from.
No, not even at
Jeremy,
all.
you got to work on yours a little bit.
I know.
You got to thicken your beard up.
I got to thicken it up. I'm a little Apache every year.
I'm not one to talk. I got a ways to go too.
But no, like we connected, and right away, like we walked in and we were supposed to meet somebody that was going to walk us around at the auction, and Rob stepped in and just, a genuine character of who he was like, hey, I'll show you around. And as we're walking around, I'm like, you don't want to be out of this, do you? And he goes, no. And I go, well, can I have your number? Can we call? Can we have a call and talk about it? And from there, it was like, all right, here's what I'm trying to do. I would love to go down this path and this journey with you. Like, you've created something amazing, truly amazing. And I'm along for the ride right now. All the excitement and of the bring back the peanut butter porter, and one guy on Facebook had peanut butter porter for you, peanut butter porter for you, and a dancing banana, right? I'm like that type of stuff is a testament to what he and Sarah had done in creating this brand of Dangerous Man. And right now I'm just loving it. And I'm along the path. Rob's with us. We have Andrew, who has connections back as the head brewer of both Chapel in Northfield, and then also in Prize Brewing right here in Minneapolis too. And so
did you bring Andrew on board strictly to get feather bowling?
Yeah.
I knew he was going to every time Prize is brought up.
Yep. God, I have my feather bowling
That's why you got
sweatshirt.
Andrew.
That's
it all makes
exactly
sense
it.
now.
That's
Yeah.
We'll have music, live music, and feather bowling.
All the other valuable stuff he brings is, it's just a bonus.
Oh, that's awesome. But no, and just coming together, I'm surrounding myself with some people that are definitely smarter than me in this industry. As I said to the two of them, I go, of the three of us, the person who's ultimately in the position of being the owner is the least experienced and prepared for that.
That sounds like Minnesota sports.
Exactly.
Ouch. I don't want to talk about that.
Yeah, we haven't had enough beer yet. That's okay.
But yeah, bringing us together and just excited about what is in front of us and seeing all of the positive response from our initial launch, and then all of the accounts that Rob worked very hard to create. Now many of them have reached out to us is like, okay, we did this for a reason, and there's a good reason for it.
So again, for me, like this was not even on my bingo card for like, oh, Dangerous Man could come back, 5% chance. Like I was like, oh, this is horrible. I've mourned and I need to move on and find a way to cope. So Rob, talk me just through the transition, right? Because how long were you guys in Minneapolis?
We were in Minneapolis for 10 years.
Wow.
10 years. That's no joke. That's a big deal. Especially,
That's a big deal.
I mean, we see breweries drop like flies, and it's not just because like bad beer. Like there's a lot of great breweries that have gone under economic conditions and just so many other reasons. So talk me through like the decision, the hard decision, both to then pack up and move out of Minneapolis, but then also the even tougher decision, I imagine, to close up shop.
Yeah, I mean, when we left Minneapolis, that was a tough decision. We did not own the building, which was a frustration point, and the landlords were upping the rent a lot, and things were tough, and financially, before the rent increase, we were having a tough time, paying the bills, and once the rent increase after our lease was up, it was just like, this is not possible, And so we had to kind of leave that situation. And I wasn't done brewing. I didn't want to see our brand die at that point. I wasn't ready to end it. So we kind of like weighed a bunch of options, and it was like, well, we could get into production, and that would we can save our brand that way. Let's give it a shot. Let's give it our best effort and try this new model. So we found a space in Maple Lake that was amazing, and it was a great building, close to our farm where we live, and it was great.
Awesome.
It was a great facility, and it is still a great facility. Ran it for about 2 years, and just financially couldn't get it to be where we needed it to be, and we just needed to make some decisions for our family. My wife and I ran it together. And kind of feeling like all of our eggs in one basket was kind of a scary situation when things just weren't, going the way we wanted or needed them to. So it was really tough,
You go through all of that. Are you thinking at all like, I can't wait for a chance to reopen this, or are you thinking at that time like, this is dead?
It's done. I'm done. I'm over. It's over. Sarah, my wife, and I, we had kind of moved on, and we were making plans for what's next in our lives. And I was, my mission was getting that equipment out of that facility. Like, how do I this huge brewery? How do I get all these tanks and all this equipment out of here? This sounds horrible. Yeah. And then Jeremy walked in, and he was like, wait a minute. What if we kept all this equipment here? And I'm like, wait, what?
I never thought of that. Wait, that's brilliant.
That's a brilliant idea. I just need you to just be on board. And I was like, okay, let's talk. And meeting Jeremy was like, we just kind of hit it off. And I had been approached by some other entities and other groups that were interested in buying the brand, and it just didn't feel right. And I wasn't willing to let my brand just go, to somebody that I didn't trust or I didn't feel would do the brand the right, justice that it deserved. And it was different when I met Jeremy. It was like, okay, there's passion, there's love and energy, and a different type of energy. And
you just know who the right business partner is, right? I mean,
I guess I
you call it. you can call it chemistry. I mean, going back to sports, you see it with line mates.
Oh, totally. No, but we hit it off right away.
Yeah, you just know.
Like, wait a minute. No, this is different. I want to talk to this guy. I want to hear what he has to say. And then it just kind of snowballed, and his ideas were amazing, and I was like, this could work for me. He had the vision and the passion for, what he wanted to do with the brand. It lined up with me and what I saw the brand, where I wanted the brand to go,
You'd mentioned community. That was a huge piece of what hooked me. Coming out of education, where that's exactly what you do, is you develop community, you develop a culture where people want to feel welcome, they want to feel important, they want to feel as if they are part of something, and that's what they did, especially in Northeast Minneapolis. It was harder in a production facility, of course, but our goal is to be able to find some sort of a spot where we can continue that in Maple Lake while still, looking at other locations that aren't in Maple Lake for our actual tap room. But that community piece, it just aligned with me and my heart. And as I looked through some of their documents, the previous documents about what they stood for, you know, who they were as an organization and what they expected of both their customers and their employees. Like, I mean, there's all these, you know, these great standards. It is ultimately, it came down to being good human beings. And from that point, I'm like, I'm in. Let's try to build that back up again.
Yeah. I mean, the fact that he was willing to, you know, the brand that he developed, I know what it feels like to develop a brand and to, like, for you to set that aside, you know, and to dedicate to Dangerous Man is freaking, that's hard. And
one of our first conversations, I wasn't quite sure, how do we do this? And then I think I hung up the phone and I'm like, what am I talking about? This is Dangerous Man. Are you serious? Like,
right.
Yeah, it is. Like,
it's like your baby. This is my baby. This is something that, you know, I created, I don't know, out of my dreams, you know. It came and now it's really awesome.
It is something for me to be able to see brewed by Rafters Brewing for Dangerous Man is like, all right, that's a little moral victory, right?
Yeah.
Like,
Well, I think the real question is, Jeremy, like, what style of beer is Rafters going to be? Like, that's got to be a beer, right?
Yeah. So, I mean, ideally, once we get a tap room, what I would love to be able to do is have some sort of more. With production, it's harder to do experimentation, right? And we're actually going to reduce some of the offerings that were the previous Dangerous Man as we're starting up. But as we build that up, we'll have more and more that will be offered.
And that's realistic.
What's my first question, though, Jeremy?
Peanut butter porter?
Yeah,
yes,
is that on the list?
Yes, it is.
That hasn't been changed.
So, more important question, how long do I have to wait for that?
Right.
Sometime in the first part of November is our hope that we're going to have it on shelves. And so,
not too long.
He's already got
sooner than expected.
That was not the answer I was expecting. That's awesome. Okay,
that's
we're
awesome.
here.
I got beer
Let's
in
go.
the tanks. Yeah, we're like things are fermenting.
Oh, I love that. Now, one thing though, and
sorry, I got to cut. So the next time that we connect, we're all going to be sipping that.
Yes. Oh yeah. Yep.
And we're going to bring some down to 56 for allowing us to be here too.
Of
sure.
course. Right. Cheers, guys. So, and this is a longer story that we can get into, you know, off video or in a future episode. But me and my buddy, we went out to Buffalo.
Nice.
I grew up a Penguins fan. He grew up a Sabres fan, and they were playing there. And we're like, screw it, let's drive 14 hours overnight and go out and do a weird winter weekend in Buffalo.
Heck yeah.
Surprisingly good craft beer scene.
Really?
Incredible pizza and wings, which everyone knows.
Yep.
But part of it is they've got the big Labatt tap room right by the arena. And you go in there and there's a little side room called the experimentation room.
Oh, that's
and I don't know if you guys ever did you ever have the Citra Labatts?
No.
Oh, I don't
So
think
they
I
came in
have.
like a 9-pack. It was weird, but it was
That sounds
literally
awesome.
a light IPA. It was like a 4.3% like Citra IPA more or less. And like it was pretty reasonably priced too, and that was born from their experimentation
cool.
room.
I
So, like,
love that.
I'm just picturing like that's the kind of vibe you guys could have where it's like, hey, if you want to get the real like vintage Dangerous Man experience, try different things, come here and we will have really small limited batches, and if something hits, maybe that's something we got to package up and distribute, you know?
100%.
And I just think that could be a very fun wrinkle. You know, phase 2, phase 3, whatever, but like,
I know
it is important to keep some of that,
Oh, absolutely.
but obviously you can't distribute all of that. Like,
No.
that's just not how it works.
It's hard.
No, for sure. And I mean, there's other breweries who've had success with that just in their tap room, or some of their brewers, either the head brewer or some of them working under them, would like have their own recipes. They give them a try, and if they sold a lot, they're like, oh, let's bring this back, or let's polish it up a little bit and see what we can do with it. So
No, they were, we kind of looked at recipes right away, and right away Jeremy and Andrew were like, we don't want to mess with the peanut butter porter. We're just going to leave that.
Please don't.
Please don't.
Now, if you want to do side variations of it, fine.
We actually talked about that
as long as you
today.
don't get rid of it.
Exactly. We can add some.
I mean, we got them on camera now.
Gotta
at some point, we're probably gonna have to do some kind of collaboration beer too.
Oh yeah,
Absolutely,
100%.
for sure.
But
Absolutely.
I think the question that everyone wants to know, and I'm sure there's not a firm answer yet, but I'll kind of just open it to you guys. What is the plan for having a new tap room? Like, do you have a timeline in mind for yourselves, and do you have an idea of where, or is that still all gouging?
I think right now, like, getting our production up and running is the number one priority, and making sure the beers are right where we want them, and the accounts are getting the beers that they need, and like that's number one. But I mean, right behind it is that tap room and where it wants to be. And I'll let Jeremy kind of expand on that.
Yeah, no, if you're asking my lender, it's hang on a second, get some money coming in, right? All right, establish this.
I'm not asking your lender. I don't care what they think.
But if you're asking me, I'm going to be like, hey man, yeah, I get it. I move fast, but let's make this work. No, I think we have to be really strategic and smart about where we're going. We want to make sure that where we're going, the industry is changing, right? It used to be at a point,
Maybe someday we won't have like bullshit liquor laws too. Like fingers crossed, but that's a separate.
That's a whole nother issue.
Exactly. But yeah, I think finding a place that we can really call home, that was deep in what my original concept was, is finding a place that ultimately we can become part of that community. And then from there, it's let's hit it and let's really dive in. Previous Dangerous Man had like, is it thousands of people that were on like a volunteer list, like an email list out to people, and it's, hey, we have this community garden, or we're doing this event, and we're doing this. Come in, volunteer, and we'll give you a free beer and some days a sandwich, right? Like I want to resurrect that type of stuff where we're giving back to the community. And we're trying to find a community that really values us in that sense and wants us to be a part of it, not just a beer place.
Which is a tough thing to do when you're not immersed in that community yet, right?
Exactly.
Like I can't even imagine what that process
Minneapolis, like there are a lot of breweries in this area. And,
Totally.
It is tough, and that was kind of part of our issue, was like saturation point. It's like, how many breweries do we need in one area?
Right.
There are areas in the surrounding metro that don't have tap rooms that would love a freaking tap room, especially a Dangerous Man tap room. That could really be awesome for some.
Richfield's looking.
Oh. They are very much looking, yes. So
we've been in communication with Richfield.
With them,
so
and
that would
Don't get him too excited.
I might buy the best.
What's your address? Wait.
yeah, I know it. Hey.
It might be
If
next
he
door.
lives there, I want to set it up in my garage. I'm in. No, but that's totally fair. And yeah, there's obviously a ton that goes into that, but I don't know. I just am happy that things have started. I know everyone else is going to be clamoring for more details, but they're going to come when they come. And you don't want to rush it and do it wrong. It's a fine line to thread, but
I think it's
I'm
important
excited you're working towards it.
I think it's important to know too that like the fact you guys are getting all these questions and like, when is this, when is that, is just because of how much you guys are loved.
Yeah.
And I hope this helps answer some of those questions, and the fact that, even like the peanut butter porter is coming back sooner than like we expected. And that
House IPA. Same.
Yeah, House
Coming
IPA, some of the
coming back.
mainstays, and that production. Once the beers are hitting the shelves again, once they're in our hands, again, you said you like to move quickly, and once things are established, like I have no doubt that like you guys are gonna find the right spot, and it's gonna be buzzing. So
I agree.
Yeah.
Well, thanks for sitting down with us,
guys
man.
very much.
This is
Appreciate
great.
you
Thanks
guys.
for having us.
No, hey,
man.
appreciate you guys.
Do this again.
We got to end this on, can the Wild make it past the first round this year?
This year? No.
This year. That's the hardest of no's.
Sorry.
Okay.
No.
You know what? I like
You've had
I like the
your-
realism because
Hang on.
Josh Letty would say yes. He would say they're winning
Hey,
the
but
Stanley Cup.
honestly, I listened to an episode of SOTA POD with Josh last year in October.
Oh,
He
yeah,
said
yeah.
no.
He
He
said
said no. They weren't going to make the playoffs last year, and
That's-
they did
that's-
make the playoffs last
That's
year.
because Nick was playing for the Blues in the same division. That's the only reason. He's either a homer for the Wild or for
Nick.
his nephew.
I
like,
get that. Yeah.
But
I'm a Wild
everyone needs
fan,
to know
and I
the origins here of
Yeah.
the Dangerous Man beard. It's that he swore that he would shave it as soon as they make it past the first round. Right? Here we are.
And I
This is
still
what we
have a
got.
beard.
This is what we got.
So you have to have like a logger that comes out at some point with just like the logo's no beard silhouette, and it's just second round.
I'll do it. If they make it to the second round this year, I will shave my beard.
It's a fun
completely.
play on words too. A second round.
You heard it here. Like,
That's it.
oh boy, come on, Kirill, let's go.
Well, again, thanks guys. This was awesome.
Yeah.
Thank you very much.
Cheers.
Appreciate
Guys,
it.
let's do it again.
Right on.
Yeah,
For
for
sure.
sure.
Awesome.
Heck yeah.
Oh, look at that.
Appreciate you guys.
That was great. Thank you.
That was awesome. Well done,
easy.
you guys.
Let's do it again.